My name is Jean. Let's do it together. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, Dominique. That's how I spell it. The last name is Archambault, just like the music store. And along with Geneviève.
I don't sound like any song, sorry.
Come on, you can do it.
And Suzanne, who went looking for Michel Godbout, who will be talking to you from the newsroom. We went together. We're going to be your guides this afternoon. So, welcome to the CBC. CBC is a working environment, as I was trying to tell you upstairs. There's as many as 4,000 people who are here today to do something. So wherever we're going to go in our visit, there's somebody busy either on air or preparing something, either on television or on the radio, or even now on broadband on internet.
He's everywhere with that camera.
Maudit français.
What I said on YouTube that was not accurate. Was strict.
You can leave your bags and coats here if you want.
I love all French people.
It's not like you're just good.
I'm Michel Godbout. I'm the host of CBC News at 6. Welcome to our shop. Is a Sheila Cage.
Hi, I'm the Managing Editor, which means I'm the Chief Journalist responsible for television and radio. What CBC Quebec or CBC is all about. You know, we are the public broadcaster, the Canadian public broadcaster, and we have bureaus all across this country. In fact, we have 14 bureaus where there are 14 radio and television newsrooms. Ours is just one. Here in Quebec, we're responsible for broadcasting radio and television throughout the province. We're also responsible for getting Quebec stories onto the network so that they go all across the country. What we have here is we have an English TV newsroom, fully staffed, and we put on an hour of programming every day from that newsroom, as well as any live coverage of breaking news that happens that goes on to our, very confusing, eh? I mean, we also have an all-news network that's the CBC, and we do spend a lot of time feeding content to that all-news network. As well, we have two other shows. One is called Au Courant, which is now in hiatus. It's a show with about personalities and people in French Quebec. And we have another show that goes on daily called Living Montreal, and that is a sort of lifestyle show along the Martha Stewart kind of line, if you know Martha Stewart. And then radio puts out hours and hours and hours of programming on a daily basis. And Michel is the host of our 6 o'clock show from 6 to 7 every day, and he'll tell you what the show's all about and what we're trying to achieve with the show. How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Set him up nicely.
There's barely any pressure. Yeah, so I don't know if has anyone seen the show?
Yeah.
Really? Great.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably get to watch this before you come. Right?
Yes.
Still do that?
First time I saw it next week.
So we're doing an hour show now since 2 weeks. Now. We've moved into a full hour that's locally produced here in Montreal. Before we used to do a half an hour. And so now yeah, we get to double our workload. Our pay doesn't change. So what we do now is we do a full hour from Montreal that reflects all of Quebec, but also national and international news. We do sometimes a little bit of sports. We have our own weather person now, Gideon O'Connor, that you probably saw on the cast, and yeah, and Mariana Simeone is also with us, our city columnist, who gives us more of an opinion sort of based journalism, if we could say it that way, and she brings something different to the mix also. So it's a show that's bringing, I think, something different than other shows on other networks, and what we're trying to do is to create some sort of enthusiasm as far as our viewers are concerned to find something new on our show. And up till now, I think the response has been pretty good. There have been quite a bit of changes on our show too, staff changes. I've become the host now, full-time host for a little over a year now. So there's been changes there, and more people working on air, more journalists, and well, a little more journalists.
What's interesting is when you put in a new host, like we put in Michel a year ago. Before Michel, our host was there for 15 years, and we did this show with this host. And the exciting thing is when you put in a new show, we've redesigned our whole show. So our show is designed to work with Michel. Do you live next door to me? Do I know you? Do you live with Joyce? Yeah. Yes? Yeah, I'm your next door neighbor. Looking at me. What's your name again? Penny. Right, hi. Sorry. So anyway, we redesigned the whole show, made it very different in the way we present our content, changed the players in the show. So it's a show now that of course contains all the things that you need journalistically to put in a program and all the things you need to give a Montreal and a Quebec audience. But the way we present the show and do the show is designed all around this guy. So it's a very different show from what we did a year ago. And I think it's I love it. I think it's a much more open show, and I think it's a much more welcoming show for our audience. So I think we've come light years with Michel as our host.
Not really, no.
Sitcom?
Excusez-moi si c'est la vente CBC. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Prends photo maintenant. Come on.
Chinese.
So they have weights in their living room.
It's the French musical, okay? So what you have right now is 6 studios, and when the sets are not used, they're put over here, okay, in the corner. It's so if you need...
Not fair, man.